I'm keeping a journal of my whole month of October, mainly because I love the autumn season and that I want to remember every detail of it. It won't be super crazy or anything, just to give all the wonderful updates of October. October 1st. The first day of October, I already feel like getting stuff out for Halloween. I take the time to decorate the inside of my house for Halloween. Most of the decorations I have are from my childhood that I've kept. As I was decorating, I began to feel the memories of my childhood on Halloween come to my mind. After I finished decorating mostly inside the house, I watched Casper on my TV. I remember watching it as a kid with my parents. The cute ghost that can talk always puts a smile on my face. While watching the movie and eating popcorn, I began to feel at peace since this is going to be my first Halloween living alone. Ever since I moved out of my parents' house in July, I felt very much at ease. Having freedom of doing whatever you want at your house is always a blessing without anyone to tell you what you can and can't do. October 2nd. I went to a dollar store to get some more Halloween decorations. As every year I get new stuff to decorate my house with. I mainly get some outdoor stuff as I want to get a lot of kids, so I gotta get that along with indoor decorations. I have found some display decorations as well as some hanging ones. As I was getting decorations, I began to remember all the times my mom shopped for Halloween decor as a kid. Touching the new decorations that come out every year, begging my mom to get the decoration was what I grew up with doing every October. After I got some more Halloween decorations, I decided to stock up on lots of Halloween candy. Last year I got about 45 kids at my door, so with more decorations and candy, I am sure to get more kids at my house this year. I was thinking of dressing up for Halloween as I always do, but I can't decide on who I want to go out as. I know I was Michael Myers last year, but this year I want to go as someone different. October 3rd. Work has been normal as usual. Nothing much to say, but the day at work was boring. After work, I headed home to watch Hotel Transylvania. And man, it is a good movie, especially since Adam Sandler is in the movie. As I watched Hotel Transylvania, I heard a knock at my door, so I got up from my couch to get the door. When I opened the door, I was surprised to see that no one was around. Ding-dong ditchers, no surprise there. I shut my door and locked it before going back to my couch to resume the movie. October 4th. After work, I raked the leaves in my backyard. I also did the same for my front yard as leaves were littering the ground. I also put some leaves in bags so that it can be taken before the cold weather. It was chilly, so I wore my sweater and the smell of crisp autumn was making me feel relaxed. My dog Bowser, who is a German Shepherd, was rolling around in the leaves, making me smile at the 3-year-old ex-police dog, enjoying autumn to his delight. He loved the walks during autumn, as we got to see the trees change color and get to see my friends as me and Bowser walked by. After I finished raking the leaves, I took Bowser on a walk around my neighborhood. We walked past an elementary school as we walked around my neighborhood. I waved to some of my friends that were outside of their houses. I even had a chat with one of my neighbors. They always greet me and Bowser as we walk by their houses. Most of them are nice neighbors. However, there's a few of those neighbors that weren't nice or just had a bad history with them. After my walk with Bowser, we both headed back home to make ourselves dinner and then relax for the remainder of the day. October 5th. I got home from work around 5:30 p.m. I noticed an envelope inside my mailbox that is right outside my house. I opened my mailbox and took the mail I received inside. The first thing I looked at was the envelope. I opened it to see that it was an invitation to a Halloween party. The date said that the party was on October 25th at 7 p.m. I want to go to that party as I would have to clock out of work early to be there, and I gotta find a Halloween costume to wear. I looked in my box of costumes I wore in the past few years. Most of them I didn't want to dress up as for Halloween. That meant that I would have to go to a costume store and buy myself a costume. I know my next paycheck is coming up, so I will be able to buy one soon. October 6th. I had a meeting at work about stuff that our company is going through. Great changes, I may add. They were exciting changes, so it wasn't bad news or anything like that. On my way home from work, I stopped at the bank to deposit my check-in. Once I had done that, I made a stop at a nearby Spirit Halloween to find myself a Halloween costume. There were lots of costumes to choose from, so I had fun looking around the store. I've tried on a few masks and even saw some animatronics. I thought they were cool to look at and interact with. I eventually found a nice costume for me to wear. It was a Master Chief costume. I found one they have in my size, so I had to get it before it was sold out. It cost me around $70 for the Master Chief costume. It came with a helmet and everything, and I was so happy to have gotten the costume. When I got home, I tried out the costume I bought, and it fit me very well. I didn't feel it being tight or loose and baggy. I'm glad I bought the costume they had in my size. So now that I have bought myself the costume, I now can wear it for the Halloween party, including for the trick-or-treaters on Halloween. October 7th. On my day off from work, I booked that day off due to a dentist appointment. I went to my dentist appointment, to which I had to get a filling in one of my teeth. It was successful to say the least. After my dentist appointment, I stopped at a Walmart to pick up groceries for my fridge. As I was shopping there, I saw a lot more Halloween stuff that they had. Seeing some costumes around my size, they were cheaper than the ones I got from Spirit Halloween. Wished I checked Walmart first, but whatever, I now know for next time. I was getting my groceries when I came across some Halloween-themed foods that were being sold for a limited time. I had to get them since I like them a lot, especially since Halloween is on the 31st of October. Once I finished grocery shopping at Walmart, I stopped at the built-in McDonald's and grabbed something for home. After I picked up my order, I drove home to put the groceries away. Once I had put them away, I began to eat my McDonald's at the dining room table. I didn't feel like cooking today, so I bought myself McDonald's to save time. October 8th. My girlfriend called me about seeing the Lion King musical at a theater with her, since I love the movie and musical. I said to her that I'd like to go with her. She booked the day for us to see the musical on October 15th. I had a day off that day, so it'll work out great with my schedule. The day I had work wasn't anything special. I just did what I normally do, and then worked till my shift ended. After my shift ended, I headed home to cook dinner, as well as feed Bowser. At home, I was cooking dinner while feeding Bowser his dinner. After making dinner, I was doing dishes when I heard a knock at the door. I went to the front door to answer, only to find no one at the door. A few days ago, someone knocked only to have disappeared. I was getting confused at who's been knocking at the door only to not be there. October 9th. I overslept this morning, thinking I was late for work, only to check my calendar and see that I have the day off today. That is a relief. I usually play video games on my day off, so I mainly stayed in the house all day since I don't have much to do. October 10th. I went to work like normal, then on the way home I ran into a friend of mine from high school. He was talking about the Halloween party I was going to on October 25th. I told him that I was going to be there as well. He was excited to hear that I was going to the party. He said that he hoped to see me there, and then I continued on my way home. October 11th. After work, I was invited by a neighbor of mine to watch a Halloween movie. I accepted the invitation and I went to his house. We watched The Nightmare Before Christmas, and I enjoyed every bit of it, since that is one of my favorite Tim Burton films. I also had dinner with my neighbor, which was Chinese takeout food. Now, I am not a huge fan of Chinese food, but having it once in a while was a great treat. The Chinese food was from Panda Express, as that is where I get my Chinese food whenever I feel like eating Chinese. When I got home, I saw someone was looking through the backyard door with Bowser barking at it. As I got close to the back door, I saw whatever it was not there. I checked my yard to make sure no one was attempting to break in my house, but I found no one. Either my mind is playing tricks on me and Bowser, or it's paranormal. I have no idea which is the case, and I sure don't want to know. October 12th. I was invited to dinner at my parents' house, so me and my girlfriend traveled 2 hours to my parents' house in another city. We had a ham dinner with mashed potatoes, salad, gravy, along with turkey and stuffing. It was Thanksgiving. Since I am from Canada, we have it a month before the USA does. My girlfriend and I had a great time with my parents. We went to a park that was not far from their place and enjoyed ourselves. Overall, nothing strange happened on that day, so that gave me a break. October 13th. Paid my bills before heading for work. Nothing much happened. However, I was up till 2 a.m. I have no idea what it was, but I couldn't sleep till after 2 a.m. I rarely have those nights, but they do happen. I kept having paranoia thoughts. I feel that someone or something is watching me. I keep thinking someone is around, only to see no one there. Anyways, I fell asleep to calming music, to which it seems to help me out. The night went peaceful since having music on. October 14th. Nothing really happened today, except going to work, etc. However, I did hear some whispering from my basement. I didn't know why I was hearing that. My dog Bowser was barking at the basement door, so we both went down to see if there was something down there. I heard the whispering while in the basement, but couldn't find the source of it. I searched the entire basement, but couldn't find anything. Maybe my house is haunted, but I cannot confirm that yet. October 15th. My girlfriend picked me up in her car. I was going to use mine, but my girlfriend stated that she uses her car. It's just my girlfriend wanted to take her car for a change. We headed to a theater where the Lion King musical was being performed at, and it was just as I remembered it. I remember seeing the Lion King musical as a kid. My parents used to take me to see it when it was being performed in town. And besides, I have never met anyone that never liked the Lion King or haven't seen it. Pretty much everyone I have met has seen it. The show was great, and my girlfriend and I had a fun time seeing the musical. After the show was over, my girlfriend and I had dinner at a seafood restaurant, to which the food was really good. After my girlfriend dropped me off at my house, I fed Bowser as well as getting ready for bed. Nothing happened much, so the night was a quiet one. October 16th. When I got to work, I heard the news that one of the co-workers at my job was murdered. My boss informed me about it, and I found out that her name was Allison Sawyer. She was in her 40s and was murdered by an older homeless man in her home. I never knew Allison very much. I mean, sure, me and her chatted about once or twice, but nothing since then. I was sad that she was killed. It was later revealed that the man who killed her was breaking into her house around 12 a.m. One of my co-workers explained to me some more details on Allison's death. Allison was trying to fight back at the man during the time he broke into her house. She did fight back, only to have been stabbed 18 times in her abdomen, and she died due to blood loss, and her vital organs were severely damaged from the stabbing. Allison was going to be buried at my city's cemetery in a few days, so I decided that I would visit her grave with my co-worker when she is there. When I got home, I was mostly quiet throughout the rest of the night. October 17th. Nothing happened besides me going to work and getting some groceries today, but I have been watching the Scream series when I got home. I only watched the first 3 Scream movies, as I have my VCR and VHS tapes of those movies. They were enjoyable as I remembered seeing Scream when I was a kid. That was when I used to sneak into the living room at night when my parents weren't looking. October 18th. After work, I went to grab some Halloween candy. I grabbed some chocolate, Skittles, and gum candy. I grabbed as much as I could just so I have enough candy for Halloween to hand out. As I grabbed some candy, I ran into my boss, and he gave me some exciting news. He said that I would get a promotion tomorrow and my pay would be higher than before. This is a blessing as I needed to get my car's winter tires on. As he told me the news, I hugged him and thanked him so much. Most people usually don't like their boss, but my boss is the most amazing person you've ever met. To put it as simply as I can, he was very blunt but like a father figure to me and always liked me at work. Hell, he was like my second dad to me. October 19th and 20. It is the weekend. I have 2 days off from work. On Saturday, to which it is today, I headed for a mechanic that was open 24/7. I got my winter tires on my car and then drove to Starbucks. I got my pumpkin spice latte and I saw my mom was there too. She and I had a chat about stuff and on how our lives are doing. When I told her about one of my coworkers that died, She was sad to say the least. My mom asked me for details on how I found out, and I proceeded to tell her the details on how Allison died and when I found out. I said to her that I will be visiting Allison's grave sometime whenever she gets buried in the cemetery in town. After my Starbucks coffee was finished, my mom and I said goodbye to each other before I went into my car and drove back home. On Sunday, I went to church in the morning. I do go to church sometimes, but not usually due to me being busy with my life and plans. But after church, I went home to pick up my dog Bowser. Then I drove him and I to the nearby dog park. When we got to the dog park, there were a few dogs, so I let Bowser free so he could play with them. As I watched Bowser play, I chatted with some of the people about the Halloween party I was going to on the 25th. Most of them said they were going and told me some costumes that they were going to go for that party. And on Halloween, I told them about me being Master Chief for Halloween. They were surprised as that costume is expensive and hard to find. But to me, it was worth the money, and I wanted to be someone different for those days. After the dog park, me and Bowser headed home where I made dinner and then we relaxed for the remainder of the night. October 21st. I went to work today. Nothing much has changed at work. Due to getting a promotion, I got a higher pay, which it'll help me out a lot. I headed to a Spirit Halloween store for some more lights for Halloween, just so I have something else lit up around my house. When I got home, I put the Halloween lights up around my living room, to which it fits it perfectly. I ended up hearing tapping outside my house, so I checked the doors and windows to see that no one was around. Whatever it is or who it is must be lurking around in my neighborhood. October 22nd. Nothing much to say. All I can say was, the day at work was great. Nothing much to document about. Well, except one thing. I ended up seeing my garage door spray painted with some profanity when I got back from work. Unsure of who did it, I ended up asking my neighbors about it. They had not seen or known anyone in the neighborhood that would do that, except some lousy teenagers. I went to the store to buy paint, to repaint my garage door over the spray paint. After that, I relaxed for the rest of the night, as it was uneventful. October 23rd. My girlfriend and I went to see a movie in the evening. It was after I got off of work and got ready. I took her to see the new Beetlejuice movie, and it was a great movie as I liked the OG movie. After that, she and I went to a buffet for dinner. The food there was great and the service was amazing. Other than that, nothing else eventful happened that night. Went home after taking my girlfriend home. Then I ended up relaxing at home while getting ready for bed. The night was peaceful since getting home. Nothing creepy or abnormal happened tonight. October 24th. Had the day off from work. Took Bowser on his walk before driving myself to the pet store. I needed more dog food, so I picked up some dog food and then met up with a friend of mine at Starbucks for coffee. Nothing happened, so it was yet again uneventful. October 25th. The Halloween party is today. I had clocked out of work early to get ready for the party. I got home around 4 p.m. Then I fed my dog before getting ready for the party. I found my costume and put it on. Everyone was going to go crazy over me being Master Chief for Halloween. I went to the Halloween party and I saw a lot of people in my city in costumes. They were mostly really great costumes. I have recognized some of them from my neighborhood. Others I had no idea or remember who they were. But their costumes were really cool, and I saw a lot of great costumes that I liked. They even complimented me on my costume. They even said it was the coolest costume I ever had. There was dancing, music, friends to talk to, and the food there was a potluck, and I had brought a fruit tray for the party. The rest of the food was really good, despite that they were made by the other people that were at the party. After the party, I sure had a great night. Headed right for bed after I took care of what needed to be done before bed. October 26th. Today was very weird. I went to work today, and my boss said I wasn't needed for the day, and that I have the day off. He said I have the day off since he's getting new coworkers in the workplace. I guess since Allison died, some people left the job where I work because of it. I have no idea why that's the case, but it was shocking news to say the least. I still don't know why some people quit the job without a 2 weeks notice. Something really weird is happening. October 27th. Went to work. Then, after I went to work, I decided to drive around the area I live in, just mainly looking at the houses decorated for Halloween, along with fall decorations being displayed outside. I really liked most of the decorated houses. They were amazing, as I always pictured them to be. When I got home, I noticed there was a note on my front door. Odd, isn't it? I picked up the note. There was no signature of who would have written the note. It said, "Ready for Halloween, Dave?" I have no idea who wrote the note, so I've kept it in case I find out who wrote the note and stuck it on my door. October 28th. Nothing much to say in this entry. We'll say that I found out who wrote the note and stuck it on my door. It was that weird guy in his 40s. How do I know this? Well, a neighbor told me about that weird guy who lives the next street from mine. He was an oddball, as what my neighbors referred to him as. I am not against the weird guy, but there's stuff that I didn't like about him. Whatever it is giving me off vibes about that guy. I rarely have seen him, and I tend to avoid him in case he is dangerous. October 29th. Went to work as usual. Then I came home to find that one of my neighbor's houses was spray painted on their garage door. I have a weird feeling that one weird man in his 40s has something to do with it, but I cannot confirm if that was the case or not, as I would have to investigate further for more details. He was reported to the police, and needless to say, that was all the info I could get from my neighbor. October 30th. It's the day before Halloween. I made sure all the Halloween decorations were ready inside and out. I want to make sure everything is ready for Halloween, as I was looking forward to dressing up and handing out the candy. I have booked tomorrow off from work, so that would mean that I would be spending Halloween night with my girlfriend. October 31st. Today is Halloween. My girlfriend came over around 3 p.m., dressed up as Batgirl. I was Master Chief for Halloween, and we were watching a Beetlejuice movie from 1988. As we were watching the movie, I believe it was around 4:30 when people started knocking on my door. My girlfriend and I took turns answering the door, and we handed out candy to those wearing costumes and enjoying themselves. A lot of people liked our costumes. They even thought we had cool costumes for Halloween. My girlfriend and I admired everyone's costumes, and we sure liked a lot of them. Some of them are characters that we both know who they're from. When Halloween night died down, it was already 10 p.m. My girlfriend and I finished our night. She went back home as I took my costume off and got ready for bed. I never did find out who left the note, the knocking, etc. That happened to me this month. I believe it's paranormal, but I am not so sure if that's the case or not. Since it is approaching midnight, I'm gonna head to bed and pray that the spooky stuff can end for the year.